Obviously, this draft had a cluster of edge guys kind of in that same basic range, where a lot of the people evaluating the draft had much different rankings of who was best, who was above others in that. You mentioned the passion, the intelligence. Physically, when you look at his game, what separates him that stood out to you guys for why he's the best fit for your defense?
Well, he's got power, and power is something you can't teach. You either have it or you don't. A lot of edge rushers or speed guys, tackles in this league just knock those guys down. If you can't basically bull rush and have power and turn it into speed or speed to power, you're going to struggle. And Joe showed that he has that ability, and he's obviously going to be a huge contributor on special teams right away as he continues to improve that toolbox. But he has the main ingredients.
We asked Joe last night in terms of if there are pros that he would like to model himself after in terms of his strengths, his size, his speed. And he mentioned a name that obviously carries a lot of weight with you, and Chandler Jones. And obviously that's high praise, and that's something he wants to be. Do you notice similarities? Do you notice that in him?
Yeah, I see the length. I see the high energy that Chandler plays with when I watch Joe play.
Thanks, Bruce.
We're going to go over to Joey Knight.
Coach, speed is obviously a prerequisite of that position. Could you just speak to his speed, not just 40 dash time, but speed in all areas?
Yeah, I mean, the ability that when he closes on the ball, it's impressive. And I love the way he's improved a bunch dropping. Obviously, you've done a ton of work, Joe, in the offseason, this season, and your zone drops, breaking to the ball. So all those things add up. It obviously adds up really fast on special teams. We got better right away. And there's so many things you can do with a player who has position flexibility like Joe does.
Okay, we're going to go over to Jenna Lane.
Hey, Coach, I apologize if you already answered this. I had some technical difficulties when we first started. Darn technology. You've talked about already the fact that you guys aren't going to be doing OTAs, but in the case of somebody like Joe who took a year off already, how important is it going to be to get him those reps when you finally do get him out there working out with teammates?
Yeah, I didn't say we weren't doing OTAs. I just said we're doing virtual meetings. We're doing OTAs, and so whoever shows up. But I expect Joe to be out there. So yeah, we'll have a rookie mini camp as soon as we get everybody signed, and have those guys stay May 15th throughout June. So we'll have them going pretty fast.
Appreciate you clarifying that. In his case, for a guy that does take a year away from football, obviously totally understandable with COVID-19, what are some of the things that are going to be key to getting him back up to speed, up to game speed again?
Well, I think one of the things, just getting out on the practice field, getting your brain, it's one thing to run and do drills. It's another thing to have an assignment and play that fast. So it's learning your assignments, getting all that stuff down, and the pass rush stuff, we'll have to wait till we put the pads on. But we still get after it pretty good in OTAs.
Thanks, Coach.
We're going to go to Mike Vorel.
Yeah, this is for Joe. Joe, I know that at UW you played with a couple of Bucs now with Vita Vea and Benning, and I'm curious how close you are with those guys, and if you heard from any of those guys after getting drafted.
Yeah, they both reached out to me, close with them, a great landing spot for me, be, familiar faces. So, they definitely reached out and, mean a lot.
I will go over to Rick Stroud.
Hey, Joe, you come from a very family of overachievers, right? I mean, your sister Julia is headed off to medical school soon. You're in the NFL. You've made great grades in college. I know your mom, Andrea, has to be a big part of your success, your grandparents. Can you just talk about her and just one influence she's had on you and your sister?
I'd have to say is her work ethic. As a single mom, she didn't have no room for error. So she just got up every day, and just, got to work. And I believe that rubbed off on us. It really shows in both of our work ethics. So that's really props to my mom.
And when you went to high school, I guess early on, at least, your football team at that high school wasn't that great. You had 3 coaches in 4 years. They find you, right, no matter where you are when you can play, but you had to go to camps and things like that. Speak to just having to overcome, not having a big spotlight of a big program on yourself and still making it to UW.
It just goes to say, my passion for the game. I don't know a lot of dudes who would have, stuck around. They would have probably transferred, but, I stuck around and, did what I had to do to stand out and, really passionate about this game. So whatever circumstance I'm in, I believe I'll shine.
Thanks, Joe.
We'll go over to Scott Reynolds.
Hey, Joe, you had your 2019 season end with 6 sacks in the last 5 games, including a trio of games where you had 2 sacks in each one. Did you feel like the light was coming on for you as a pass rusher and that you really had some momentum at the end of your 2019 season?
Most definitely, I definitely kept the momentum going. I finished the season strong. So, I'm ready to build off that. It's been a long time, but, I'm ready to get going again.
You're coming into the NFL not as a finished product, obviously. What do you have to work on at the next level from a technical standpoint to improve your pass rush game?
I believe, I got, improving every aspect, not even pass rush. So, just overall, just becoming a better player, more consistent player, played at that high level. So, just overall consistency.
Thanks, Joe.
We'll go over to Steve Isbitz.
Joe, how difficult was last season for you just sitting on your couch watching college football? How challenging was that mentally and just in general?
It wasn't easy, but, I found a way to try and separate myself as much as I could, watch a lot of tape, but I was definitely involved with my teammates, trying to watch film, help them out in any way I can, but I'm not going to say watching was fun. But, I learned a lot from that situation, and I'm ready to get going again.
And your interview time with the Bucs, how many interviews did you have with the Bucs, and what are your strongest memories from those?
I believe we had 2, and I just had I believe I had a good talk with a defensive coordinator, and it was just a smooth process, and I meshed well with them.
We're going to go over to Greg Allman.
Hey, Joe, I just want to ask you, you wore your full name, Joe. You had Tryon Shoyinka on the back of your jersey at Washington. We've only known you as Joe Tryon here, but just want to ask you what you prefer and kind of what the story is behind the name.
Yeah, Tryon Shoyinka. So those are both last names from my parents, and I'd always go by Joe Tryon. People call me whatever they want. Joe Tryon Shoyinka, JTS. It's not a big deal to me, but that's just both my parents' last names.
What about, is there one you prefer just in terms of what we address you as here in Tampa?
Yeah, y'all call me Joe Tryon. It's cool.
Okay. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go over to Jen Lane.
Hey, Joe, back to along the lines of your sister and your mother, I was reading that you had said that, now that you're a pro, that you want to be able to pay off your sister's med school debt and your mom's debt. Can you just talk about how special it is to be in a position to be able to do something like that?
It's definitely, a blessing, seeing all the sacrifices that my mom made, growing up for me and my sister to get to the points that we're at in our life means a lot to me. So, it's the least I could do for real.
You didn't give us too many details about how you were going to spend your 22nd birthday, which happy birthday again. What's the day looking like for you? And what has it been like just the last, not even 24 hours, but just the last, I don't know how many hours since you were named a Buccaneer?
It's been really, I can't even explain how I feel, but, I've just been spending time with, the people closest to me. And, just, taking it all in, and it still hasn't really hit me that I'm about to be in the NFL, but, it's an exciting time.
Thanks.
We'll go to Evan Klosky.
Hey, Joe. I wanted to first ask you what you knew about the Bucs before getting drafted by them. I saw a tweet from you talking about their front seven, watching them after the Super Bowl. Just what stood out to you when you were watching that game?
Just the overall dominance of that defense. I don't think they, what was it? They gave up 3 points, and that's a high scoring offense that they shut down. So it just goes to say, they got great players, great philosophy, great coaching, and I can't wait to be a part of that culture.
And then also, who got you the hat? I know that you were having some problems there getting the hat.
We went to the mall, early this morning and got them.
You just went into a store and was like, I need this thing?
Yeah, because I got videos to take, man. Gotta be in these.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right, we'll go back to Rick Stroud.
I'm wondering how hard it is to find one there in Seahawks country. I wanted to ask you, you played all the sports, right? I mean, you were a great athlete. How early on was football sort of in your veins? I mean, you grew up so close to the Hawks facility. I know you ran into some of those guys now and then.
Definitely, football was, I felt, I had a passion for it at a young age. It just took me a while to really, get it rolling. Like I said, or like y'all said, going to Hazen, going to the small school, it wasn't known for football. So I really had to make a name for myself. That's when I found a passion for it really, really, deep, in the grind. So I've always had a nick for football, but, I really can't wait to get started.
Thanks.
We have time for a few more. We're going to go to Karen Loftus.
Hey, Joe. Bucs general manager Jason Light was saying that when they were going through the interview process with draft prospects.
Someone's calling me, my bad.
That's okay. I understand you're popular. So Jason Light was just saying that he noticed that the draft prospects, when he was going through the interview process, they seemed to sit up straighter. There was a lot more excitement when he was talking to the draft prospects, just being the defending Super Bowl champs. Did you find that that was your reaction through your interview process with the Bucs, that you were extra eager to talk to this team and hopefully be a part of what they have going on here?
Most definitely, always intrigued, to see how, programs run, especially a successful program like this. When I got drafted to, they had 1 year and they came in and won a Super Bowl, so they're doing something right. So I definitely wanted to, leave a great impression and make it be known that I was, wanting to be a Buc.
All right, we'll close out with a question from Steve Isbitz.
Hey, Coach, JPP and Shaq, those are a couple of guys that don't like to come off the field at all, especially JPP. Have you talked to them about the pick, and what kind of competition do you think this is going to fire up for them?
I don't think either one's worried about their job right now, but they know there's always room for guys that can help put their hand in the pile and help us go for two. And Joe is going to fit right in. That's a great room. Larry Foote does a great job with those guys. And so Joe's blessed to be with those guys and with Coach Foote.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, that's all for today. Thanks, everyone.
Appreciate you.